For decades, business schools and boardrooms have relied on a single economic framework. You were either a business-to-business or business-to-consumer company. Both operated as closed systems, isolated data silos. These silos extracted value by hoarding proprietary data and selling the results to a passive consumer. In a purely digital world, this top-down architecture was enough to dominate the market. But today, hyperscalers are pushing AI agents outside the silo to interact with the real world, routing physical power and managing 90-day supply chains. At this scale, AI is more than just software. It is a physical thermodynamic force. When a closed digital silo attempts to dictate reality to the physical world, the system breaks. This architecture is structurally incapable of surviving the complexities of a living environment. The core failure occurs when the hyper-fast speed of digital intelligence attempts to dictate reality to the slow-moving physical world, causing a violent systemic collision. On one side, trillion-dollar AI models process and execute actions in milliseconds. On the other side, the physical power grid operates on a 5-year wait time for upgrades and new capacity. Then there's the human element, the biological worker, who operates on a rigid 15-day paycheck cycle. The massive time lag between these three incompatible speeds fractures the economy. We call this temporal shearing. To survive this friction, the market is forced to trap trillions of dollars in counterparty reserves and build redundant off-grid energy islands. This thermodynamic debt is the cost of trying to run a millisecond economy on a siloed architecture. Attempting to scale planetary AI through extractive silos doesn't just cause inefficiency, it triggers a physical and financial flash crash. Because probabilistic AI lives in an abstract mathematical state, it has no way to determine causal deterministic truth on its own. A machine cannot guess if a municipal grid can support a 2-gigawatt data center, or if a community has granted its cultural consent for an autonomous drone fleet to fly overhead. To prevent a crash, the machine must synchronize with the baseline speed of the living world. This requires T+0, real-time gross settlement between the machine and the physical grid. Anchoring the machine to human reality is not a software choice. It is a mathematical requirement for advanced technology to survive. Transitioning to a C2X, or commons to X economy, replaces the silo with a tri-layered cyber-physical social grid. In this architecture, an autonomous agent cannot draw power or move a supply chain until a physical verification circuit closes across 4 pillars of the commons. First, the individual must cryptographically prove biological and economic survival to the grid. Then, the community provides its ecological consent, while the state provides real-time regulatory compliance. Finally, the enterprise validates that the physical grid capacity actually exists. Only when all 4 attest to the truth of their reality does the circuit close. This transformation turns the machine into a localized exoskeleton that scales human intent, rather than a centralized silo that extracts it. Moving to a C2X economy changes the mathematical role of a human being in the macroeconomy. For years, the tech industry has proposed universal basic income, a welfare check that treats humanity as a collection of passive, obsolete bystanders. In a T+0 economy, humans earn a universal basic asset instead, an operational yield for supplying the truth that keeps the world coherent. By using edge devices and sensors to provide cryptographic proof of their reality, individuals perform the vital work of witnessing, which prevents a systemic grid crash. Because their real-time attestation is what allows the AI to execute safely, humans are no longer consumers. They are algorithmic equity partners. The winners of the next 50 years will be the entities that collaborate with the state, the community, and the individual to build a synchronized, real-time nervous system for the planet.